today I'm going to take interview of my friend. He's Harsha, and he's 99th rank in GATE 2018, and presently he's working in IOCL Trichy. So he has got a very good experience in preparation of GATE. It was his second attempt where he has achieved that good rank, and there will be a lot of things for aspirants to learn from his way of preparation and approach. So I hope you'll be liking this session. And regarding what we were discussing, like the questions I will be asking him, the time stamping, everything will be provided in the description box. For example, let us say you want to know about the PSU interviews, then you can just click the time stamping there and you can jump there directly. So even though it is a lengthy video, you please try to watch it because it will be a very interesting one. Let's begin. Yeah, hi my dear students and friends. So as I was telling you, today I am going to have a talk with my friend Harsha, and talking about Harsha a little bit. He was All India rank 99 in GATE Electrical Engineering paper 2018, and then he has got number of offers from various PSUs, and then he has also got admissions from top IITs and IIScs, and presently he is working in IOCL. And in fact, he got this good achievement of 99th rank in his second attempt, whereas in his first attempt he did not get that great rank as every ordinary student would have got the same rank he has got while he was in his college days and all. But he has learned his mistakes, and he has, just like you have a saying that you have a bow, you pull it back. How much strongly you pull it back, that much fast it will move forward. In the same way, we can see Harsha's achievement in this GATE exam also, and definitely it's worthwhile discussing with him, and definitely we'll learn a lot of things, I think. Therefore, I have arranged this session with Harsha. So let us welcome Harsha. Hi Harsha, how are you?
Hi Nikhil, how are you? I'm fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for your. It's like it's been very since I saw you and listened.
Yeah, and it's been so long that myself and Harsha have also met. I think in the college days only we have met, and I will just show one photo of ours also in the college. So that's how we used to look.
Yes, people whomsoever sees my timeline, they point out that picture. That is, unique picture we have had during our technical fest, I think.
Yes.
That is very, very good memory of mine. And congratulations, Nikhil. Actually, for the way you have been pursuing your interest, teaching interest, constantly, the thing is being consistent in that particular profession, despite, you have your main.
Yeah.
Really very good, and my best wishes and congratulations for that. Okay.
Thank you, Harsha. So just to begin with the interview, I will be asking some questions to Harsha, and what question I will be asking, the same question will be provided in the description box along with the time stamping also. Suppose if you are looking for some particular question, let us say you want to know about what are the important books to be referred for this exam, you could just click the timestamp and you can see myself asking the question and Harsha will be giving out the answer. So like that you could also customize your watching this video. So Harsha, so the first question that I would like to ask in the series is that just tell about your educational background, that is after 10th class onwards, or your diploma, or have you done your +2 and like that, and how did you come to your engineering, like that, your educational background?
After 10th is important thing in my life actually. After 10th I've actually given one back then. So I joined Sri Chaitanya. That is KKR Sri Chaitanya, what we used to call in, Vijayawada. But because of some health issues and all, I came back. Like that, I pursued my intermediate in SR Junior College in Warangal only.
Yeah.
Then I written all the competitive examinations like IIT, JEE, MSET. But then I got a good rank in MSET, like 1389. So I got admission. Usmania Electrical was my first choice, and I got my luckily, and I joined Usmania University, completed my graduation.
Yeah. And another thing is that, see, how your mindset was to be there during the college days, means what you used to think, means what you want to become after leaving the college, or did you had this idea of appearing for GATE or coming to PSUs, IITs, or what was your mind state like in those days?
Attending GATE is sure. Like I decided to attend GATE anyhow
Yeah,
because back then in my intermediate, the dream of not getting into IIT was there.
yeah,
That dream, anyhow, I should get that dream I used to have. So that was a big upset for me actually after intermediate. Not getting it was a big upset. So uh, before joining engineering only, I have pursued whether is there any option in my entire life as to whether can I get into IIT. So then I came to know GATE is there. So I was like, okay, cool. 4 years of life is there, and there is one more chance to get into IIT.
yeah.
So that the choice of GATE, the option of GATE was realized then.
Hmm.
Uh, I didn't seriously pursue it, but then it was there. So from the starting days onwards, I used to have it in my mind. Gate electrical, gate electrical. This used to run behind in my mind. So so that's why I used to focus more on technical subjects, and uh, and I didn't sit for software companies also
Yes.
during my placement. Only 4 companies I sat, and that too it was an obligation to sit for interview
I think you
because
got selected also in some LNT or something, isn't it? Or Wipro?
yeah, I attended an L&T interview. I got selected after our examinations were over. After the results were declared, I got the interview. I got the call
Hmm.
to join. But by then I started GATE preparation.
Yeah.
So I attended some core interviews, but that was a since we were middle class and we should have one backup thing. I attended.
Okay. So, how did your first journey of GATE preparation has started, and till your first GATE attempt?
So actually, I joined my GATE coaching in ACE Engineering Academy,
Yeah.
Abbott's Surya Loka Complex. So that is in
In
3-2.
3-2. Yeah.
3-2.
Yeah.
That is in January.
Ha.
All of my friends, classmates went in 3-1. But then I was not sure whether to go or not.
Yeah.
So that's joined in 3-2.
Yeah.
January 2016 it started and completed in December. It completed in January 2017.
Hmm.
1 year of span approximately. So that time, what happened is I used to attend classes regularly. Whatever happens, even if I come to college or not, I used to make sure that I attend these GATE classes pakka. So, and I used to study and go through those subjects even after coming from the class.
Yeah.
I used to practice questions also.
Yeah.
But to practice, that's all. Rigorously read the class notes and practice.
Hmm.
Read the practice, read the class, that's all. This loop is only there. Other than that, there is nothing.
Hmm.
There is no previous year questions, there is no test series.
Hmm.
All these extra add-ons, there is no revision.
Hmm.
I call in GATE preparation is the single most important, which I lost it.
Okay.
Actually, this is the same thing happened with me during my JEE preparation in intermediate.
Ha ha.
And that is the biggest regret I have in my life till now, because I didn't touch a single question of previous IIT book and previous JEE book because I was afraid. If I touch it, if I don't get the question, how will I feel? How demotivated I'll feel? So I'll read the textbooks and class notes many times, as many times as I can, so that this concept will be following. But I didn't understand to start practicing the questions. Once we do some mistakes, we learn from them. This clarity of mind I have in intermediate, and the same I repeated in my GATE question first of it.
Yeah.
So this things I didn't take care of. So ultimately, what happened? January 2017, classes were over.
Yeah.
I had nearly some 20 to 30 days. So it's like I came to know I can't make it this time. So it's pretty much it is happening. So miracle should happen only then I can get to it. So then what I did is I took only 4 subjects.
Hmm.
I just want to I know that I want, but I just want to see whether I can do it or not. Then what I did is this electrical circuits, digital electronics, control systems, power electronics. These 4 subjects I have taken. I just wanted to experiment upon. I thoroughly, I thoroughly examination. So the rest of the other than these 4 subjects, whatever is there, that is like a residue.
Hmm. Hmm.
The residual magnetism, whatever.
Residual magnetism. Yes.
So I gave the examination. I have seen the key. I know how many marks. I got some 48.66 of
Okay.
out of 100. So I finally landed in getting a rank of 2,465.
Hmm. Hmm.
2017 gate.
Okay.
I tried to get into NITs, NIT Trichy or NIT Warangal, but I couldn't with that rank. Even in the spot rounds,
Hmm.
that was gone. Then this mindset has always been there in my mind. If I don't get the first time, I will anyways sit for the second.
Yeah.
That's why if we go into the specifics, I actually thought of joining a coaching also.
Hmm.
The second time I thought of joining a coaching actually, but somehow because of personal reasons it couldn't happen.
Hmm.
I went back to my home in the Warangal. There I sat and prepared for the second phase.
Yeah.
So that's how the first phase of first attempt of GATE is over.
Yeah. So I understood that your shortcomings in your first attempt while you were in the college were that you have attended the coaching classes and you felt that attending the class itself is the preparation and you didn't do anything on your own like practicing previous questions or test series or something like that. You by the time of completing your coaching classes, by the time GATE is in front of you and you thought that I will just select some subjects and I will try to give an attempt and remaining is just residual knowledge what you have heard in your class and something like that. So that were the mistakes that you have identified. Did you identify anything else, more mistakes, and what did you do in the next 1 year to rectify that mistake? And that too in the second attempt he did not take any coaching and directly he did his own preparation and then he has got a very great rank. So Harsha, you just explain what did you do in your house, means how many hours you used to study and what was your strategy of preparation. Again, did you start studying the subjects from the beginning or did you do only test series and revision sort of thing?
So this second phase is very important to me actually.
Yeah.
Because I left my placement what I got.
Hmm.
And I left, I got some, other than Trichy, Surathkal and Warangal, I got the rest NITs.
Hmm.
I left the option. So, second attempt, anyway I should get. That is like a knife on my neck.
Hmm.
Do or die kind of thing for me. I took it like that. Basically, I took it like that. So I sat once. I sat and I calculated as to what are all the mistakes I did. What are all the shortcomings? So then I devised a plan how to tackle with GATE. So what I used to do is daily 2 subjects I used to study. I started from scrap. Perfectly, I'm telling. I started from scrap. I started from zero.
Hmm.
Every subject I have taken print of GATE examination, the syllabus. Every subject I have seen. The detailed lining will be given. Na? So I have seen there. Out of all those, for example, if you take electrical circuits, what are the things I don't know? What I should learn new? What is the thing I already know? So, for example, if you take electrical circuits, this tree diagram and all I don't know actually.
Yeah.
That
Graph theory.
Graph theory, exactly.
Yeah.
This graph, and I didn't listen the class also.
Okay.
Not paying much attention to it. And there was one question in GATE 2017. Some simple formula is there, number of trees or something they asked. Some one question is there.
Yeah.
One mark in the blank is there. I couldn't do it. Rest everything of circuits I prepared. That only graph theory I didn't prepare. And 2017 question from graph theory has come, I didn't do it. No, this is like a blow on my face. So what I understood is every particular point of the syllabus is important. We cannot afford to leave a single point of the syllabus because we don't know what GATE focuses that particular. So I listed out what are the new topics we should learn. So now I know how much I know regarding a particular subject. So what we do is every day 2 subjects. I used to read those subjects. After completion of reading basic theory, I used to practice the question. And during this practice session, I prepared the short notes.
Okay.
Because the short notes, because once, second, third, 3 readings is good when it comes to class notes. After that, when you reach slowly, when you reach the perfection levels, every time there is no necessity of reading class notes.
Yes.
You should have a small notes. See, it depends on individual to individual. One friend of mine is there. He has taken A3 paper. One side total he wrote circuits ka short notes.
Okay.
The other side he wrote entire this magnetic EMF subject ka short notes. Whereas I wrote in small book I purchased. That small book I used to maintain short notes. So short notes is like when you should write such a point, when you see that point, now you should understand you should get the entire concept. For example, inductor is there. Inductor V is equal to LdIdt. And you put the polarities. And you write one small line, inductor opposes some changing current. When you see this line, entire inductor gets stored in inductor. What is its response? Initially, what will its response to DC? All these things should cross your mind. So it depends on person to person. Writing a short note is very important. So I prepared my short notes and I used to practice. After practicing, then we go to previous year GATE questions. This is a very important thing because neither in my JEE nor in my first attempt I practiced previous year questions. So this time I have put it as a rule of thumb. I will practice. Even if I don't get answer, no problem. I'll practice.
Yeah.
So I practiced previous year questions. Then I gave the subject-wise test.
Subject-wise test. Okay.
So this subject-wise test, whatever you get mistakes or whatever, let me get one more copy estimate. The same short notes, I used to write the mistakes.
So the short notes which you initially maintained, in the same short notes you used to fill the mistakes of the test series?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So for example, circuit is there. Circuit short notes are written in the back side of or in the same continuation. I used to write the mistakes of circuits also.
Very good.
So whatever subjects, this is the sequence I followed for one.
Okay.
And this once the subject test is completed, the subject is complete.
Okay.
It is completed for them only. Only for that it is completed. And we have to take care of the subject till the end of the exam.
Exactly.
That is the one more big headache.
Yes.
Now we have completed 25-30% of the thing which is concerned to the exam.
Yes.
But how we can take this subject to the GATE? Because first subject was everyday circuits. It is around July of 2017. I should take it up to 2018 February.
Yes.
So what is immediately 48 hours after the completion of this exam, subject-wise test, once again I practiced previously.
Very good.
Again, even if I know the answers also, even because first time what happens is you feel second time, "Arey, I know all these questions, why to practice?" But you shouldn't allow. Even if you know the question, you should practice that question. Why? Because I will. In this process, I started to listen for 5 to 6 times. Then I was understanding what is pattern asking the question,
Okay.
how the questions will be asked. So second time in practice, then I put the regular intervals of time.
Then you put?
Then I put the regular intervals of time.
Okay.
So for every 2 days, I will revise my short notes.
Very good. Nice.
For every 10 to 15 days, whenever my slot is empty or whenever my slot is vacant, I should just practice all the questions of that particular subject.
Okay.
So the subject, you are clear, the subject is over. Then for every 1 week, I used to revise the short notes. And for every 10 to 15 days, I used to practice the previous year question of that particular subject. This is how I take care of that subject. This is how I made sure that subject.
Yeah.
This I continue for all the subjects. So if you see the subject, if you start the starting subject will take many number of practices.
Yes.
But that is a subject which is more prone to lose because it's been many months. The aspirant will be really trying to practice this 10 times. It is not wrong because we have this memory brain. The memory will be decaying. It will not be static. It is not a DC voltage. Like it will stay.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
It will decay. It
Yeah.
will discharge.
Yes.
So it is our responsibility to take care.
Yes.
So this we made that we kept in touch with subjects.
Okay. Very, very nice. Yeah.
So like one more point. This is how I take care of subjects. Then this full length tests are there.
Full length test.
So in December mid only I started the full length test also.
Okay.
In full length test I used to do some 4 days span. Like depending on the total number of tests and my exam day, 3 to 4 days I used to give the gap, and I practiced full length test also. And mistakes whatever whatever mistakes I used to get in the test series of any test series, Ace, made the creative, whatever you need. Everything is good actually. There is nothing like this you practice and this you will get later, and there is nothing like that.
It is just to train our brain to the pattern. That's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is exact. So we made, and one more thing is I actually gave this pre-test like in each academy and Medici they'll conduct this pre-test like
Mock exam, something like that. Yeah.
Mock exam. I wrote those exams also. So I put all my mistakes in one book. All my short notes are there, and 2-3 days before the examination, these 2 books are only the books. I didn't prepare like 1 week before also because I was writing 3-4 mock tests in the last week. So rarely I used to open any book. These mistakes book and the short notes. Filled it, and finally I gave the GATE examination.
Yeah. So you got the result. Nice result. So some specific questions I wanted to ask right now. That is regarding some subjects. Most of the students, while preparing for GATE electrical guys, they find a lot of difficulty, especially related to power electronics, because more number of formulas and how do we retain it. And so what is your suggestion with respect to power electronics, because it is something different as compared to others? Yeah.
Yes. So basically, I will not suggest anyone to remember any formulas. Don't give this comment V is equal to IR. Else, all formulas we should not try to remember. First point.
Yes.
Once we try to remember, it will be a big hurdle for us. So first we should focus on how we are getting that formula during the basic stages. If we see V average, VRMS values of all those circuits, are there. 2Vm by pi cos alpha, Vm by pi to 1 plus cos, all these things. If we see and if we try to remember now, then it will give a itching kind of thing. Then we will find it troublesome.
Yes.
As far as power electron is concerned, don't remember any formulas first. During the basic preparation, you see how that formula you are getting. And repetitively, if you go on doing the revisions, the 2 Vm by pi cos alpha is the average load of the average voltage of the load for a full rectifier for continuous conduction. In last 1.5 years, I didn't open any of my books. So what I'm telling is, don't try to remember any of those formulas. You just focus on how you are getting those formulas. And after seeing, thoroughly understanding how the formula you are getting, then you revise that particular subject. And automatically, I'm telling for sure, after 3 to 4 revisions, you will only tell the formula. There is nothing like you can't know.
Yeah.
Our engineering subjects and our syllabus is like that. In many subjects in many formulas. And if you see everything as a formula kind of thing, it will be a difficulty. Don't look at anything as formula, you should remember or not, how it is possible. All those things are different. There are two things. First, you know how you are getting that formula. Second, you revise it. Repeatedly, you revise it. And by repeatedly revising it, you will get to know, you will put it in your mind.
Yes.
There won't be any problem for that.
Yeah. So the next thing is, so you have started preparing again from the scratch. So what was the material left out with you is your coaching notes was available for you. So now what do you suggest apart from coaching material, did you refer any standard textbooks, and do you feel that this textbook is must for this subject provided you go for coaching or not? Like that, you just give me the list of books which you feel are must have for GATE aspirants electrical apart from coaching notes.
Here I will clear one myth actually which is there. We have love towards these 4 subjects very much.
Yes,
In
definitely.
7th area.
Yeah.
So when it comes to GATE, we should be ruthless.
We should be
We should be ruthless.
ruthless. Yeah.
We are preparing for a competitive examination where 1 lakh people are competing.
Yeah.
Try to score at least 1 mark more than the first ranker.
Yeah.
Only objective. If you come outside of it, there are n number of books.
Yeah.
Which everyone will suggest, and I would obviously suggest. So during coaching classes or whomsoever are not taking coaching class also, don't be carried away by this subject, this technical subject core nature. Textbooks are very important things, but we should not be carried away by those things. We are preparing for exam. This we should put in our mind. First point. Second thing, I prepared with my leftover class notes, and whatever portions I felt are not covered nicely. For example, if we see this harmonic content in transformers was not dealt very perfectly, or I didn't listen. I don't know the actual reason, but this harmonic what the transformer I felt it.
Yes.
Not
You
so select.
from which textbook did you refer harmonics?
I referred alternating current machines by Professor M.G. Say.
MG say, yeah.
So that textbook they explained very well.
Okay.
And in lectures by Tapas Kumar Bhattacharya, NPTEL lectures by Professor Tapas Kumar Bhattacharya is from IIT Kharagpur.
Okay.
Presently his lectures are available, and during my preparation, someone privately uploaded those lectures.
Okay.
NPTEL did not. Someone privately uploaded those lectures I saw. So that I got some clarity.
Okay.
Harmonic and the 3-phase transformer connections.
Yeah.
Whatever subject is there, selectively I used to. So, for example, if you say electrical circuits, Matthew Sadiq
Sadiku, Fundamentals of Electric Circuits, yeah.
book is there. And electromagnetics, if you see, we have this William Hayes.
William Hayth, okay,
And for circuits also, William Hayes book is there. That also I follow.
yeah,
So this whatever standard books are there, but signals and systems, Oppenheim and Stafford book is there.
yeah,
Then this power systems, we have this Duncan Glover book,
yes,
and Stephenson Gringer book is there.
yes,
Electrical machines, this MG Say book is there. Alternating current machines. PS Bimra book is there. But what I would suggest is all these standard textbooks, we won't have time to follow.
definitely.
If we consider power electronics, I actually exactly the question in 2016.
మళ్ళీ చెప్పు పవర్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ మళ్ళీ చెప్పు కట్ అయింది వాయిస్ అంతా.
If we consider power electronics subject, there was a question in 2015 or 16 that is regarding the average output voltage for a discontinuous conduction in a single phase rectifier. Average output voltage is it. I vaguely remember, Nikhil. I will give the scenario. So then there was one formula, the formula cos alpha plus mu, one formula will be there, cos 2m by pi cos alpha minus cos alpha plus mu, some formula will be there. Or it is three phase rectifier, I don't know exactly, I don't remember. If I see the question, I can remember. So that year, everyone, all the coaching institutes, everyone gave that one formula they followed, and people gave for re-verification also. Once the key is released, they have put for re-verification also, because everyone used. Then IIT has given formula and given the citation, the textbook. They cited MD Rashid, I think. MD Rashid or Ned Mohan, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If you see power electronics in that aspect, Ned Mohan and MD Rashid, after that, for what, like, for a static syllabus, whatever we should normal, whatever we follow, PhD, all those material is okay. But for some special topics, this overlapping current, discontinuous conduction, all those kinds, like 5 to 10% we should follow the Rashid, that Mohan kind. I'm not suggesting we should read completely the entire text. Selectively whatever is there, because this kind of problems we can't predict.
Yes,
Based upon the previous year's history, what they are asking. So special topics from this standard textbook we should do that much only.
yeah,
Or any standard topic, if you are having any doubt, then refer. Rather than it going into the detail, going specific, we won't be having that much time. Because to complete one textbook, it will take at least 2.5 months.
yes,
We will read all the contents, we practice all the examples, the normal exercise problems, so it will take more time.
yes,
My suggestion is the coaching material, or you get it, you prepare with that, and whatever special things, the unknown things, when you are having doubts, for those things to get more clarity, go with the standard textbooks. That is my suggestion.
yeah. What Harsha has told is absolutely right. See, now the students, two categories: those who have taken coaching, they will have the coaching notes, and some people who did not take coaching, they will not have any coaching notes. Now, for them, what? For them, what means? See, it's a well-known fact that you will be getting the handwritten notes of all the coaching institutes. Instead of reading all the textbooks, you have already the handwritten notes of the coaching centers. The faculties there are obviously experienced. They have read 3 to 4 books for one subject, and they have given all the consolidated knowledge. If you see that, you could be easily able to pick up that one, and you can prepare happily with that. And if you find anything which you cannot understand, or you need more clarity, then like what Harsha has told perfectly, you have to refer to certain standard books. He has mentioned those standard book links also, and that list will also be provided down. But preparing for GATE examination through standard books is not possible, because see, this is like a race. You have to win. You shouldn't have a big baggage around you with you. You should be as simple as possible. Your preparation, the burden on you should be very less, so that you can run fast in this race. That is one aspect about textbooks. And importantly, again, the importance of short notes, Harsha has very properly highlighted. What Harsha did was, he has maintained two sets of very small concise notes. In one note, he has written all the short notes which he has observed during his preparation, and he has maintained another short note to write down his mistakes in the test series, and he could keep them together. Is it, Harsha? Am I correct? Yeah, and he did not refer to his full notes again. After he has completed some considerable amount of his preparation, he has completely relied on the short notes only. So that is really the actual procedure of preparing. And another aspect I would like to clear about power electronics, what Harsha has said, that for power electronics, you shouldn't try to remember the formula. See, if you take electrical engineering, there will be more formulas in electrical engineering only as compared to any other branch. And if you try to mug up each and every formula, then it wouldn't be possible for you to clear this subject. The approach towards that particular concept, how do you get that formula? If you understand, for example, how to see, for power electronics, what I will say is how to make the waveform. You have to concentrate on the basics of waveforms. You should concentrate on the basics of the Fourier analysis or integration and differentiation aspects. Once you know that, given the situation, you could write down the waveform, you can draw your own waveform, and you can derive the formula. You need not remember it all the time. So you should remember the approach for that formula. And if you keep on practicing every week or every monthly, like Harsha said, he has maintained some fixed schedule for each subject, that I will practice previous questions or I will revise my short notes. Like that, in that process also, most of the formulas will be by hearted by you and they will be remembered by you. So if you read it once, it would be nice, but the same thing won't be carried till the exam, end of the exam. Okay, so this is one thing. And another, Harsha, what do you think the role of online sources in your preparation? Because by the time you have prepared, there were not much online content available as compared to today. And what do you suggest? How can the student pick the online sources? How can they be helpful to him? Why? Because today there are each and every other channel is started putting some content regarding the subject. So students are also having difficulty in finding genuine videos. So what do you suggest regarding online sources? Do you think it is relevant? Is it that necessary, or can be done as you have done without much involvement of online sources?
So online coaching, this is actually very lucky. We are in a very lucky era.
Yeah.
Actually, Roman Saini, there is one, more
An
important
academy.
thing.
Yeah.
Unacademy is a good thing. I don't think so. Videos or content is up to level regarding GATE. I don't know, because they joined with Creatics. I don't exactly know, but what I'm telling is one famous quote of Unacademy, like Roman Saini. We are born in this era where we can know as many things as we can about as many fields as we can by click of a mouse. So in such a era, we are very lucky to be born. But one more baggage and one more responsibility has come to us as to what to be chosen. Because we have so many things available in the internet, what to choose is the big question. Once that choice is over, then we can go forward. So what I've seen in YouTube, like the way you are providing content, for example, you are providing exhaustively content. For example, you are making any crash course or MCQs, you are making exhaustively. So what I will suggest aspirants is, there are some paid courses, there are some free courses. So whatever courses are there, you follow at least one or two only. Don't go for many number of institutes.
Yes.
Their machines is teaching excellently well. Their machines course I will take. Here Nikhil Nakka sir is there. I will take power electronics and power systems here. Sir, some coaching institute is like that. No. Then it will become one khichdi for us. We can't do it. First, for example, we have 2-3 people are there. For example, first Nikhil Nakka is there.
and some Ankit Goyal is there, and some Pankaj Shukla. Some teachers are there. For example, if I am the aspirant, I will go through their content first. Like these three people, or else we'll remove the name. A, B, C is there. Okay. In this A, B, C, already we are having the content available in the internet already.
Yes, yeah.
We will see the content and we will choose only one person. I'm not, if we choose many sources now, it will be difficult for us to concentrate. Only one source, a maximum two. When it comes to books, maximum two, but any coaching aspect is considered, any online classes are considered. Other than NPTEL, coaching if you consider, it is better to choose any one of all the players because we are having so many things. If you type power systems in YouTube, you will get so many playlists. What you will follow? And if you see all those playlists, it will be 6-7 months only for power systems. So before starting saying that we have to sharpen the knife before fighting, before we go into a war. So we have to see. We have to first choose. Then onwards we have to go. Because I myself have taken online support during my preparation. I told you there were areas where I was weak. So I used to see some videos.
Yeah.
So that time it was very specific. But this time, if someone has coaching, it's okay. But if it's a new aspirant, fresh aspirant, I would suggest him to be focused to any one particular thing, to any one particular YouTube channel. Because too many groups will make bad things.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, what Harsha is telling regarding online preparation is that, see, in today's age, there is a information overload on the YouTube. See, YouTube is the only platform for preparation or getting some content. There is an information overload. What he says is that you choose only one or two YouTube channels or one or two sources only. So generally, what happens, and I am observing with the students, they will be referring to multiple number of content creators for the same subject. So that is bad. That will entirely ruin your time. Actually, you are wasting your time doing so. In fact, what I personally feel is that even though you are taking an online support, but nothing comes before your self preparation or your self made notes or whatever it is. What Harsha did was perfect. It applies to that time and it applies even today. You are having a lot of content available with you. Let us say handwritten notes are available. You can prepare from them, and if there is anything missing, you could just complement your self preparation with the online. Let us say he has prepared some harmonics from some NPTEL lectures. He did not find it appealing in his notes. Like that, there are good content creators are available. So if you're a new player, you don't know how to make notes also, then you choose only one or two guys. Don't keep on wasting your time seeing everybody's courses. But always it's your self preparation only, and this online preparation cannot substitute your own efforts. It will just complement in a minor manner, some 5 to 10%, something like that. So that is about online sources, and many people are getting misguided. Even today, many students are getting misguided, and they are falling in this loop, in this trap. Now they will open this channel for Polytronics. He is teaching nice. He will open another channel, and there is some other content there. So you are wasting time, in fact. So you should fastly sharpen your knives and get into the war. That's what he says. So yeah. So another question. What do you think are the common issues with the aspirants which will prevent them from getting a good score in GATE examination? Some common mistakes they make, what you feel, what you have identified. Any comment on that?
Because we are actually afraid of making mistakes.
Yeah.
That is how I see. For any competitive examination, not just GATE, I would suggest we have to commit as many mistakes as we can before the day of examination. Till before that, we have to make. So that mistakes bid or mistakes, big bang will be formed. And the second thing is we should learn from our mistakes. We should be humble enough to accept that I committed this small mistake. Smallest of the small, because if you, for example, if you, the time I was writing examination, the subject-wise test, I've just not considered one minus symbol which is there in one mass exam, one mass question. That gave me another answer which is there in the choose the correct answers. I went through it. So these silly mistakes, whatever we say, oh yeah, I know the formula perfectly, I know the content. But at the time of examination, my mind was somewhere. I copied the the content wrongly, or I forgot something has happened. We name it as a silly mistake.
Yes.
I know everything, but somehow I made mistake.
Yeah.
This thing, if we are able to reduce, is the main thing. Because many of the aspirants who have seen are afraid to give the test because they are afraid of making mistakes.
Yeah.
Afraid of getting lower rank. I remember, I'm telling with all honesty, the first subject test of power electronics, first subject part test which I wrote, I got 4.9 marks out of 25. Really unreal. It is the device physics and tip tests. I was like crying that day. I was not physically crying, but what the hell has happened? I practiced previously intense. Even I gone through the MD Rashid for this question report. Then we got so low marks. There were some instances like this during the subject wise, which I came. So there don't know what all the mistakes I'm doing. So I make sure that the same mistake will not happen second time. If we are able to do it, I'm sure everyone will get nice. This is the main fundamental. This is a main important thing, because as I've already told, we have a vast syllabus. Electrical engineering is a vast syllabus by its nature. We have so many formulas, so many concepts to remember. The chance of doing mistakes, you name it silly, you name it conceptual, you name it whatsoever, is more. So what I suggest is practice as much as you can, attempt as many tests as you can, make as many mistakes as you can, and learn from your mistakes. It is not like today I made one mistake and same mistake I repeat. There were instances like this also. There were mistakes made by me in one exam, and the same things I have made it in computer test and full length test. Those I have highlighted much. These are the areas where you are more negligent.
Yes.
That areas we should not be negligent. So this thing I would stress upon more. And the second thing is revision. Being in touch with the subject in the examination is important. Now, various aspirants will face it. Some people will not practice with their arts. Some people might read short notes. Whatever you do, it's up to you. You should be in touch and motivate that subject.
Yes.
Example.
Yeah.
These I see are like peak loads. Base load, whatever is there, almost all the aspirants will try to base load. Reading the content, making the concepts clear, practically, classroom question practice. After that comes the actual revision, test series, English. These three are peak load. Power stations are getting
Yeah, see, actually, Harsha is expert in drawing analogies like this. So, he has given a very nice analogy. See, in power system, generally in load curve concept, we will learn that there is some base load and there is some peak load in the load curve concept. You know that base load is the amount of load which occurs throughout the day. So, what Harsha says that the style of preparation which is base loaded, means common with all the students, all the aspirants. They will do what they will do. They will clear their concepts happily. They will make good notes. They will read nicely. They will do all the classroom practice tests. Everything they will do perfectly. But over and above what is there in the above this base load is what peak load. That's what they don't do, and that's what the people who are getting good marks will be doing. What is that means? Harsha says that revision, periodically revising the subject so that you won't lose touch till the end of the exam, because this preparation is a very long process. It's not a 1 month preparation, isn't it? Most of you will be sitting more than 6 months of time for this examination. So what you have read in the first month has to be retained till the end of 7th or 8th month. So you need to be having a constant touch with the subject. And next important thing is the test series. And in test series, you have to attempt the subject level test and finally the mock test and all. But your approach towards the test series must be not looking at your answers, but finding your mistakes. Test series is not a test. It is a part of your preparation. Understood? When you start treating test series as a test, that is where your preparation is not going in line or properly. It's not going correctly. Test series is a learning process. If you are, even though, see what Harsha did, he has prepared for power electronics very well. He has read M. Rashid book, he has done the previous year questions, everything. He has attempted the topic level test and he got very less marks and he felt very bad at that time. But you shouldn't stop there. See, that's not the final test which is not going to give you rank. You have to learn from that mistakes. So, and like that you have to progress. So that was a very nice analogy and nice message to the students. So almost we have completed everything regarding the GATE aspirants general doubts and all. So we will discuss a little bit about you, about after you have achieved the 99th rank in GATE. So what were the opportunities that were there in front of you? How many PSUs did you apply, and in which PSUs did you get call, and regarding your IITs also. So just tell what PSUs have you applied and you got, and then IITs also.
First time come to IITs. I applied for Indian Institute of Science Bangalore, IIT Bombay,
Okay.
IIT Madras.
Yeah.
This IIT Bombay and IIT Madras are direct admission. Through GATE score they give admission. But IIC Bangalore that time it has conducted interview for electrical engineering. So then that was my first interview. First time I went outside Bangalore. I went there. I gave written test and I gave interview also. So I didn't prepare. I didn't prepare anything after the GATE examination is over. 1 month is wasted in knowing the key, knowing the result. And after that, there comes the IIC interview. I barely prepared anything for that. And there was like, they'll conduct a written test and they'll conduct interview back to back. And finally, they give some merit list. They'll directly send the call letter, like the admission letter. So happily, I've gone through it and I've qualified that also. I got the admission into IIC Bangalore.
So how was the interview in IIC Bangalore? Means what kind of questions they ask and how it would be?
Like there were 3 or 4 panels, different panels. Questions are purely technical. Technical means mathematically technical. So whatever physical thing, whatever conceptual thing is there, they'll ask you to put it in mathematical terms.
Yeah.
This is what I observed from other people also.
Yeah.
So basically we'll be good with concepts. Conceptual questions, first level questions. This mathematical level, actually we should solve some questions on board also. Immediately you enter the classroom, there will be 5 or 6 professors sitting there. Introductions will be as usual, like they'll make the ground very calm, cool. After that, one to personal questions, if any, if we are feeling tensed. Then they'll ask us to take it, go to the board, and then from the circuit page, they'll ask us to draw. They asked me to draw this single phase rectifier. For R load, forget about RL load, discontinuous conduction, all those things. With R load, they asked me the waveform voltage,
and from there they asked me to derive the average output voltage. They asked me the RMS, how you will derive RMS voltage, what is the power factor, what is the ripple factor, all those things they asked. So that's how interview was, like my interview was there.
Okay.
It is like pakka technical.
Yeah, so that's how the interview was at IISc, whereas Madras and Bombay, it was direct admission based on GATE score, whereas IISc, yes, that's true, even the written test they conduct, even if you are a GATE ranker, they used to conduct a written test and an interview, and that written test, most of the syllabus is mathematics, I think.
Mathematics and our core subjects are also there, but basically they are problematic.
Yeah, what IISc feels is that they test the mathematical abilities basically in the engineering. In fact, that is true. That's how engineering works. It's purely mathematics only. And then your PSU's experience and all.
PSU, I applied for many PSUs. I'll list out them one by one. So first was my BHEL interview. I applied for BHEL. I went to the interview. It is also in Bangalore only. So the day I was going to interview for BHEL, I got the admission in IISc. I went there, BHEL. So BHEL was again same. I was last candidate, but they mainly focused on the summer internship which I did.
They focused on
Summer internship which I did.
summer intensive?
Internship.
Summer
We
internship.
did it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, summer internship.
So you want me to explain every interview experience of all the PSUs, or
Yeah,
just list PSUs?
Yeah, you give a list of PSUs and you highlight what broadly a student has to keep in mind before going into a PSU.
Okay. So what all PSUs I applied is BHEL, IOCL, HPCL, ONGC, POSOCO, the Power System Operation Corporation, Airport Authority of India, and that's all. Power grid is over, yeah. So of all this, NTPC also I applied for. But NTPC, there was an aptitude test that year conducted, and I was not qualified in that examination. After aptitude test, I was not qualified to the interview, so NTPC was gone. And Power System Operation Corporation, I didn't attend the interview. So these two are gone. Rest all PSUs, BHEL, IOC, HPC, ONGC, Airport Authority of India, and Power Grid. I got all these PSUs. I was selected in all these PSUs. And basically, when it comes to PSU interview experience, first group discussion and group task. This is actually what very easy kind of thing, because during engineering we are prepared to give interviews and mock GDs and mock interviews. So getting into going through that GD is not a difficult thing. They'll give some current affair topic or general static social topics they'll give, like social inequalities, economic inequalities, like static social issues, or they'll give the current aspects in GD. So a minimum knowledge of current issues, barely minimum knowledge of current issues, and we should try just to put our view, not to do anything else. That way, that much is enough for the group discussion and group task. So whatever like during the campus placements or during the training sessions we get, that much is enough for the group discussions. And next, the interview part. Interview part, like there are 3 to 4 important things on which we should take care. Like one aspect is our summer internship. Like whatever we are asserting in the interview, we should be in a position to convince them that we really did it. So I say I did my summer internship. There is nothing like resume and all. Some PSUs ask you to fill the application form, detailed application form. some do not. But the point is, whatever point we are telling, we should be in a position to justify. For example, summer internship is there. So whatever summer internship we have done, we should thoroughly prepare and go. Only then we'll be in a position to answer. Or if there is any uncertainties and ambiguities, we should only limit our scope and tell them clearly this is what has happened. The second thing is final year project. That is also important. The third thing is HR related questions. The hobbies you have, the dynamic questions they ask. For example, if you see in Indian Oil Corporation, they asked me why you didn't choose for Rentec. That too, you got seat in ISC member. I don't know because at this point of time, I don't see. I'm attending an interview of PSU. I don't have any interest in pursuing in MTech. Then the next question is why. So at this, why you don't want to pursue? So, madam, at this point, I would like to, gain some professional knowledge. I want to know how industry works, and I'm in, necessity of a job also. That's it. So then they ask me another question. You both of your parents are working. Now, what is the necessity of taking a job right upon completion of your engineering? So you're cornered from all the angles. Now you must justify why that why question is there. So there I was in that interview. What happened is I would like to share. I was very honest actually. They suggested me not to be so honest in any interview. That much. So what I'm telling is every word which we speak in interview is very important.
Yeah.
From the next question will get from you. You see. So now if I look back, I should have said some other answer rather than not having interest or blah blah blah. I could have told some other answer, but this interview is the statement you make and the consequence of that statement.
Yeah.
So that's what.
So then Harsha has finally chosen IOCL. In meanwhile, you said that you are joining ONGC also. What happened to ONGC? Why did you choose IOCL?
Actually, I went to join ONGC. First I was selected in ONGC. By the time IOC result was not declared, I went there to Mumbai. I was given ONGC Neelam and Hira asset. It was offshore. We have today 14 days inside the sea and 14 days we'll be having a leave. This 14 days on-off cycle will be continued. I went to join there. During my joining process only, I got Indian Oil. So since I got, during that time, I came back. Because this thing, I was not that too much into it.
Yeah.
If I do get any other PSU, if ONGC is only the option, I would have stayed there, but I got the other options also. So then with the ONGC, I didn't wish to join there. So in that process, I went back in September, came back from there. And next October 22nd, we joined the Indian Oil Corporation.
So how's the life in IOCL till date? Means you have joined in 2018 and it is nearing to 2 years. In 2 years, you might have learned many things.
Yeah, many things have changed. So I was posted as a project engineer in pipeline division. So basically, I'm in construction division. So construction department in pipeline division. There are many divisions in Indian Oil Corporation. So marketing, refineries, business development. So like that, pipeline is like the one which carries crude oil or petroleum products from one place to another place. So rather than having a transport, in that particular division, I'm posted as a project engineer. So I'm into construction department. So explaining about my profile of job, it is nothing like pure electrical first point.
It is not pure electrical or pure electrical?
It's nothing like pure electrical. It is nothing like pure electrical kind of thing. it is nothing like pure electrical kind of thing. So there are many things actually involved in it. Since I'm into construction department, I should look after a project basically. So civil aspects comes, mechanical, electrical, everything comes. So every day is like a new learning for me. So the moment or the time I go into site, there are many unknown things I should know about it.
Yeah.
So this journey till now is very interesting because there are many things which I've learned being an engineer.
So how's the workload like?
Actually, because I'm into construction department,
Yeah, yeah.
there is nothing like proper time or there is nothing like fixed schedule kind of thing. So there is nothing Sunday kind of thing won't be there. So as and when it is required, we should go and we should take care of the work.
Yeah,
So one thing is there.
yeah.
So that way, if I see, I feel sometimes the work pressure is more, but then comparatively, I'm getting to know many things day by day. So that's okay. You ask me any specific questions, I will answer.
So you have almost answered all the questions. So just one non-technical thing means in this whole process till date, now you have entered into a new world. Earlier you were like a student. Now, what were the learnings for life that you have learned in this process?
Learnings for life. Before getting into a profession or before getting into a job, I used to think some things are impossible. Some things are not cup of our tea. So after entering my job, might be because of the profile of work I'm doing or the nature of work I'm doing, I feel like we can achieve things. It may include my gate preparation stage also. I don't exactly know as to what has changed me. But one thing I strongly remember is whatever thing is there, we as human beings are capable of succeeding in all the things. The only thing is we have to put the honest efforts, humble efforts to it. That I've seen because many problems comes to us with people, with the machinery or with people or with circumstances, with deadlines and all. But once we are hardworking and we are honest towards our goals, we can reach anything. That's the single biggest lesson I've learned.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. So final message that you would like to give to our aspirants who are watching this video, because see now we are in July and recently GATE has also said that they will be conducting in February. So it's almost like how you started from scratch. You also started in July only and then February you had GATE. So if somebody who is again thinking to start for GATE examination, fresher or experienced guy, see Harsha has started almost at the same time, like we are in July now, and then he has got 99 All India rank. Certainly you can also get, means it is enough time, I think. He has started from scratch. So I think the time would be sufficient. So Harsha, what would be your message, final message for the students who are appearing now?
Here, 2-3 points I would like to scatter upon because of the current situations also. One thing regarding the PSU recruitment. Before COVID-19 and after COVID-19 also, there is this huge uncertainty regarding the PSUs, which is being carried forward. So what I would like to suggest the aspirants is not to look into those uncertainties and drop their preparation. I'd like to suggest them to go through the preparation as per the schedule, as per the timelines. Not to be affected by any of these PSU and job notifications issues. Whether it is Transco, Genco, Discoms aspirants or GATE aspirants. Stick to the timelines, stick to the notification and continue the preparation. That is the first thing. Then we can look into the PSUs or MTech or whatever it is. First, we have to take care of the preparation. Second thing, when it comes to cracking GATE examination, like 2-3 days back on IIT Bombay, I think is the organizing institute for this
Yeah.
year. So they gave eligibility criteria also they changed. So this is actually the right time for the first attempt people or for the second attempt people, whatsoever it is. It's better to start from this point. And as it was discussed in the course of the interview, what is the cycle to be adopted? If they adopt that cycle and keep the three important things: previous year questions, test series, and revision. These three important things, and continue the course of preparation. I think all the aspirants, like whomsoever are putting the honest and hard working, they'll surely succeed in their GATE examination race.
Yeah. So nice message as Harsha has given. So thank you, Harsha. He has actually come up from the work and then he has started the interview with us, and he looks also a little bit tired. Did you have dinner?
Yeah, I had dinner and then I messaged you actually.
Acha.
Actually, I was having headache also.
Yeah.
But then, as it was discussed, and I don't want to waste your time because you are also having busy schedules.
Yeah.
In the content and catering to the needs of all the aspirants. I don't want to put back my word this time. So I somehow managed to come.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to meet once everything will settle and when you come to Hyderabad.
Yeah, sure. And one last thing, Nick, actually, I would like to thank you first because this interview which you did has made me go into the past. Today morning, after you messaging me, I was just going back as to what I should speak. So then I went through the 2017-18 phase.
Cheppu.
It was very, I don't tell it nostalgia, but it's very good to think of all those memories. All these days I was happy. And the evening while coming back from office, thinking all those days, they happened. Thank you for giving back those memories.
Yeah.
It was like recollecting all my memories past, like 2017-18 memories which I've seen. It was like recollecting all those memories. So thank you for making me to recollect all the memories in this form of interview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay, Harsha, thank you for joining with me and my students in this interview. Bye and good night.
Bye. Good night, Nikhil. Thank you.